Yeah.
So we got
All right.
I've been
I heard.
he laid the mulch.
Oh, well.
That's what sits.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, just pause it. I should let me know extra about the remote. I don't even know if I have it, to be honest with you.
You got a bunch of junky equipment. It's okay. You can let Oh, you mean? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just change it to like slow.
Somebody's got
Somebody.
Sadly.
What, every age ain't very old.
That's
Right.
not a bad idea.
Recently.
Oh, my gosh, she's just here, and so when I'm at work, I leave next to
Only back cooler.
All the equipment is. It's on the snow. Okay.
Boy,
Put that on. Was that was supposed to be- Yeah, if it was,
All right, I guess we'll, there's maybe one more.
We take that.
You want it?
Don't take it.
Take it.
I don't want it.
No one wants it. It's had feces in it. I mean, human feces.
So up into the woods. Disgusting.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank goodness for social distancing. I don't smell very good, so clear and away from you here. I'll try to keep this to an hour. It's been a long day, and after that, I don't know what's productive. So I'll kind of breeze through this. I guess if you have questions, you either jot them down or raise your hand, and we can address it right at that moment. I would also say that we don't have all the answers yet. I mean, there's lots of moving parts, lots of things happening daily. So if you have a question that we don't have an answer to tonight, which there'll probably be many, we'll find one before the next one, and certainly have a final presentation before a vote, and I'll address timeline as we go forward tonight. So if we did leave something out, please excuse. Lots going on, and we'll try to hit the high points here. So I guess first, to go way back, I started this new clubhouse fund in 2015 with approximately $300. I just said, we're going to do something to try to get a new clubhouse built here, however long it takes. My initial goal was to have this done by 2022, and I set that for a number of reasons. We host Eastern Iowa that year, tentatively. It was also, if you go by the scorecards that were out in the front all these years, it said established in 1922. So I thought our 100-year anniversary, we could have a brand new facility. That would be kind of cool, all that good stuff. The board kind of said, more power to you, have fun, probably a pipe dream, but so that was that. And the reason I did that is sitting through all the board meetings for the past 15 years, I took notes, and Kim gave me a bunch of figures from January of 2015 to the time I did the last big presentation in September of 16. The club spent $28,875 in repairs to this building. That's an incredible amount of money that we then, we took in your dues and we spent it to repair this thing and keep chugging along. So I kind of thought, well, a new place, we wouldn't have to do that. Maybe we could put more money into the golf course or whatever. So that was kind of the whole motivation behind it. We came up with the plan of that large facility that was supposed to be out there at the chipping green that we ended up finding out, thanks to Brad and everyone else, that didn't work. It didn't work financially. Maybe some of that was an error on my part. I was shooting for the stars and thinking a community center and all that. Then we decided maybe that's not our place. That's not our charge. That's not our responsibility to supply the community with a facility like that. So behind the scenes, Matt Jackson and I in 2019 thought, well, we're going to come up with an alternative plan. Right or wrong, we thought that was necessary to do because at that time we had, $134,000 donated to this fund. We thought we could honor the donors and continue to push forward with something, or we feared maybe they would ask for some of that money back. Sure enough, we did return, I think, $51,250 to donors that were not, maybe didn't see that this was ever going to happen or whatever. So this is what well, I'll step back just a second. And again, this wasn't all me. Matt Jackson and I kind of headed up, but Craig Jackson, who's not here tonight, has been with us from the very start with this. Bruce Carey, Brad has been here 2 times now running the numbers on this. More recently, Rod Ferris jumped in, Shane, Clint Hinderaker. So we had some more, this wasn't my ideas, Doug Crobe. This isn't all my stuff. This was a lot of people throwing out ideas to try to find what fits. We've had lots of questions on, why do this or whatever, or why not remodel this current building? And I guess the number one reason, the end all be all, is that 100% of the donations that we've received were given towards a new facility. Not a penny of that was given to be used to remodel this facility again. So that pretty much, Brad could tell you the number, how much we could do with what we have in the bank. There's not much. So that $100,000 and whatever would have to be returned if we decided we were going to remodel the current clubhouse. But I also have 10 other things. I don't know if our entire membership knows the status or the condition of this place. And I didn't know these things either until I had the pleasure of fixing and cleaning lots of this stuff. But, and I know some of you, Jen, Kevin and Jan, over the years, you guys have been, whoever else, Marcia, Doug, you guys have been in the basement, everywhere else in this place. It's a mess. But there is asbestos present throughout the facility. So a remodel would have to address that as well. So will the demolition. Foundation and water issues. Rainfall floods the basement. Doug, Dale, Dave, Matt, they installed a sump pump to help with that stuff. The sewer system then ties right into that. I cleaned up that mess down there 6 times in 2018. I think what was happening was, as during wet periods underneath the clubhouse through rainwater, the ground was saturated, then our sewer water had nowhere to go. We found out there's holes this big in the sewer lines in the boiler room, which were backing up the food waste from the kitchen into the basement. I don't think we Band-Aid, we moved it on the other side of the facility, and now it gets out that we can operate, but there's large chunks of sewer missing under the foundation here. Presence of mold is everywhere in the building. These aren't pleasant things to talk about. Black mold is in the basement, obviously from the moisture, but when I took over here in 2017, I was greeted with a massive hole in the wall right outside the front entrance here from a water leak that winter. My brother and I attempted to repair that. Before we could put the drywall back up, the entire cavity of that by the closet there was filled with like spider web mold. It was disgusting. We quickly patched it up and moved on so we could keep things going. Age and condition of the current boiler system. I met with this guy 3 times in my time here, and every year he says, I can't believe I'm back looking at these things. They're not going to last. Boilers, they say that could be between $50,000 and $80,000 if we had to replace those. Out-of-date electrical systems. I'm not sure Doug or any other electrician would even want to work on some of this stuff in here, but it is what it is. Heating and cooling system, obviously you can tell in here tonight, the air is running back there. I did turn it on here in front of Brad and Doug. You see what happens when you flip the air on to try to cool your facility. I mean, that's a daily occurrence when you flip that on. Same thing in the winter. You can't heat the place to at least satisfy your customers. And you know, they look poorly on the manager, board, whoever. I mean, you got a restaurant, you can't heat or cool. Structural condition of the building. Lynn Phelps is here. He is our squirrel hole patch man right here, right outside this window here. I mean, Lynn will patch it. The squirrels will dig one right next to it. He'll patch it again. They'll move in. Same thing. I've had 2 squirrels that I've caught in this room. And then just last week, if this doesn't top all things, I captured a mole in the bar. Everyone knows moles live underground, right? And it's been in this front flower bed. Marsha's been chasing it for weeks, Jerry as well. Somehow it got into the bar floor 2 weeks ago, and an employee, you know, said, "You got a large mouse in here?" I'm like, "That's not a mouse, that's a mole." So there's a hole somewhere that thing got inside. So I don't think this current facility is attractive to a leasee. If they were to ask me, I would, you know, say I wouldn't go for it. So, you know, then we have to run the thing ourselves. You know, I can tell you right now, that's not a lot of fun either. So that all leads us to, we hope, something new here. So I will attempt to stall this. So this, I'll go through these slowly, and then we'll come back to this floor plan to just give you a brief tour of what we've come up with for a new facility plan. This is a view from the front office, which I'll show back from the bar. You can see 2 golf simulator bays here. This would be the pro shop, restrooms. This is again from the simulators, looking back that direction with a bar. This area here would be kitchen, office. And then this is a view from the kitchen doors, same kind of thing. I think it's much bigger than what that appears, but that's kind of the gist of that. This is front entrance, so that as you can see from the paintings out here, the front door would be maybe somewhere right around where Kevin's sitting, I guess, and then the parking lot would be out there. This is rear, which we've adjusted based on the paint lines out there of having a full length lean-to awning over that covered patio in the back. So I will attempt to stop this. Okay, we'll see. All right, so again, front entrance is right here. Originally, this was seating as well here, 24 more seats right here, which there's plenty of room for that. We took it out just for the purpose of flow for this thing. As you come in to the right, our men's and women's restrooms with entrances both interior and exterior, so we can use restrooms. Members would have a key fob or a passcode or something to use those restrooms and not risk your life by using the restroom on number 5. As you go this way, we put a pro shop in. I guess pro shop would be to take green fees. I know from running it, from hearing past people run it, from hearing last year's staff run it, there's lots of people, Marcia knows, sometimes here at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and they want in. Well, restaurant managers may not want to open to collect Tipton Country Club green fees, so we kind of thought we have that there. That can be open during the golf seasons for people to come and go, pay green fees, get a drink, rent golf carts, purchase equipment, apparel, things like that. As we continue through the building, 2 golf simulators in there. We kind of, in the original plan, these were in the front right here and closed off and away from the restaurant, but we've come across several facilities locally that these things are a huge hit. So those would be accessible from the bar, visible from the bar. And again, as we talk about this, we're shifting our business plan or sit down private supper club away to an open environment with kind of a sports bar theme type thing. So These simulators have a chance to give us revenue 12 months out of the year, especially in the off season. I have some figures on that if you're interested as we go. A bar that you can sit and drink and watch your friends play golf. Then we have seating here for approximately 42 people. Is that math correct? 42 people right here, kind of an open area. These are high top tables with then lower top tables in between. Again, we could add more tables there. And then 10 to 12 bar stools with a back bar, TVs and things like that. TVs throughout.
On the side, I think we talked about putting like standing bars, that sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe there'll be standing bars across here. We also talked about, and these aren't in the plans, but half roll-up garage doors. So, you know, have a chair rail or something along there, and then half roll-up garage doors so your patio is accessible on nice days. I don't know how feasible those are, but it's kind of a cool thing. You see them a lot in other areas. If you had live music, could be heard indoor, outdoor, you feel the breeze, whatever. So that would be on both sides of the door there. As we go back to those interior photos, this is all open, vaulted, exposed trusses, so TVs can hang throughout as well as be posted on the walls. A small office for manager or staff, then a mechanical and dry storage unit here. That'll house water heaters, water softeners, dry storage. Kitchen space is very similar square footage wise to that kitchen in there. We kind of think that the only part of the kitchen that's really used is the line that you cook on, which only takes up, 20 feet or so by 8 feet. So there's lots of room in there. And then we did move the coolers to the exterior. I think these can probably be moved more towards the center of the building, but then access from the kitchen and the bar. Just like they are now. I think we hope we can reuse the current equipment, and then a kitchen entrance for staff, deliveries, and then our refuse bins and things like that on the side. So any questions on that floor plan before we go forward? Yes, Lynn.
Are we gonna have enough storage for all that stuff that's in the basement?
Well, I don't.
How many dishes and stuff are down there?
I think we have a massive garage sale and get rid of some of this stuff. I don't know how much of that stuff down there you want.
I don't know either. I know that one room's full.
Yeah, it is full. It is full. And storage is maybe one issue here. But as Brad will talk about, this footprint, this plan, this is what we can afford. So there might be a few things that are missing, maybe a few things that are. Size is 60 by 80.
60 by 80.
Yes. Yes, Myron.
Well, there was a bunch of us talking the other night and about building, digging 20 by 30 or whatever room, like underneath the kitchen or the bar. And already people said, hey, I'll dig it for nothing. It would cost us a little more cement, a little more flooring. We just go down and make a 20 by 30 is a pretty good sized room for putting all your beer dispensers and everything down there.
Sure.
And the labor would be all donated. The work would be just a little more wall and another floor above,
Sure.
take concrete down.
Very good point, and something we're going to at least check into as far as what it does to the budget or what the additional cost would be. We do have one issue out there. The high voltage power going to the pump house runs right underneath the middle of where that building will be. So that may be an issue, either slab or basement. I don't know. I don't know if that.
Underneath the roadway here.
Yeah, and then hits the very corner of the putting green and then down over the hill. But I think they said it was 18 feet in the ground. Maybe it's no problem. I don't know.
If it's out there, I mean, and like you say, the back of that room, you're coming about from that door to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
If you stayed over here underneath what would be the bar.
Yeah,
And
sorry, this is that way,
Yeah.
but,
then, I mean, you already, I mean, it was mentioned the other night, and some guys say, I'll come dig it for nothing. Yeah, I know it's gonna take a little more concrete walls, because we have to go down deeper,
sure.
and another section of flooring,
Mhm.
but other than that,
But
I think that would, it'd take a load off of up there.
sure. I think great point, and it certainly storage is a concern in this footprint or this floor plan right here, for sure. So we'll try to get that, some kind of number on what that does to affect the bottom line shortly.
And also, it would alleviate filling in part of this, it would already
Sure,
basically be done.
sure.
If you're gonna put a lot of fill in here,
Mm-hmm,
do something to make sure it settles right before you
correct.
go over it.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions on floor plan?
Chris, is there a double set of doors there for like wind?
Here?
Like we have out here?
No,
Because a lot of times you've been in restaurants before, especially in the winter, you open the doors and
sure.
right through there.
Okay, yeah, good. All right.
Didn't we also talk about maybe having an area for like waitresses and stuff to maybe get orders on the patio side?
Yeah, we discussed a pickup drop-off window, something like that there on the patio where you could walk up, order 6 packs or whatever and keep moving. So if you've seen the painted lines on the patio or on the driveway out here, we pushed that as close to the fence as possible to eliminate the golf cart or the vehicle traffic on that side of the clubhouse. So it'll be golf cart only, and all the other traffic will then be rerouted this direction. So that's kind of why it was placed where it's at. So you could pull your carts up to the patio and just hop off and be right in the bar there. Anything else we're missing? I think that's it. Any other questions? All right, next we'll go into the, and I'll just run through quick the numbers I have just so everybody has, and then I'll turn it over to Brad that he can give you an idea of how this lays out. So the exterior building shell, the bid is from Custom Builders here in town, 60 by 80. This bid is actually for 12-foot sidewalls. We had them reduce that to 10, but that package comes to $271,000. In their bid to me, included is site prep, excavation and backfill of foundation walls and floor, complete building package and erection labor, exterior covering, siding, roofing and stone, windows and doors, interior framing, which I had them remove, and tax and delivery. Not included utility work, plumbing, electrical, interior finish, and flooring. Then we have estimates from my brother, Stefan Construction, for interior finishes at $70,000. We have a bid from Thomas Heating and Air at just under $30,000 for the HVAC system. And then we budgeted about $25,000 for plumbing and between $30,000 and $40,000 for electrical. All these contractors have also given us the indication that they're interested in, doing this, the labor portion of their bids as a donation or some kind of kickback for membership or whatever. So those things could be substantially lower, but that's where it's at. So then wrap everything else in there, we think $550,000. And with that, I'll let Brad discuss where we are financially.
So yeah, I think everything came up to 500,000, and we just threw a contingency in there of 10%, 50 grand. So we're coming up to 550. As of today, grants and donations, we got 139,000. I think you got maybe another close to 10 today or something. So basically what we've got total to fund right now is 411. It's 4,800 square feet. You could give somebody a pretty good square foot lease rate on a brand new bar or restaurant. In my estimation, it's gonna take $4.25 per square foot, which is just about 20 grand you need to lease it for. So the payment on that loan would be about $25,000. And that's a 30-year term at 4.25. I think we can get that a little bit lower yet, it sounds like. You've currently got your irrigation payment, which is pretty high right now. I think it's $33,000 a year. But if you combine these two loans, the current irrigation balance right now is $92,000. By the time you combine them, it's going to be significantly less than that. But that's where it sits today. So you could get a payment of $30,000 for both today. So what I did is just a little exercise I do. I just put the last 5 years of net income from the club. This comes right from the club's books. This does not include 2019, does not include the restaurant. That's the first year we tried to run it ourselves. This is just strictly a scenario where you want to rent this clubhouse out and let somebody else manage it. So the next three items are all, or the next two items, depreciation and interest, those need to be added back to your net income because that's available cash to use to make a payment. And those were already deducted in your income statement. So basically, it shows what you had available for the last 5 years to make debt payments. You know, back in 15, it was 52,000, and in 19, it was 31,000. Your irrigation payment was 33,000. So you used to have a cushion of about 15 to 20,000, and this last year it was a little bit negative. And then you can see the existing rent next. Added that back and just deducted that and replaced it with a new rent of 20,400. Again, that's I think you could probably get more than that, but that's what makes it work. Insurance, you're going to have increased insurance. We estimated $1,500. Increased property taxes, guesstimated $2,500. There's a question out there whether that can be abated. We think it can. So kind of if you look 3/4 of the way down, you have a new available. So that's the money we should have available. Existing loan payments, $33,000. Your standalone payment for this building, if you finance it separately, is $24,000. So you can see there in 2019 doesn't work. There's $10,000 negative that you have to pull out of reserves. So the key then is let's combine these two loans together. Rates are cheap. Banks are wanting to make loans. Rates aren't going to get any cheaper than they are today. Combine the two loans, your payment's less than your irrigation payment is today. And you go back to about a $17,000 cushion, which you had back in 15, 16, 17. So then kind of what I did, I mean, it works well from a banking standpoint. Every $50,000 in cost overruns you have, it's going to cost you $3,000 a year payments, increased payments. Every $50,000 in donations you get, it's going to be just the opposite. It's going to reduce your payment. A 0.5 point reduction in interest rates, about $1,700 a year you could save. Property taxes are currently $7,600. If abated, I was thinking the whole thing could be abated, but I learned today that's not the case. Just the increase in taxes would be abated. So it would save you $2,500, which I've deducted already up above. And then again, none of these assumptions include managing the bar, restaurant. Strictly a lease scenario. So works on paper with no increase in rents. I think you're going to get I'm gonna guess maybe at least another 25,000 donations, so payment should have a little more cushion available yet, so.
Any questions for Brad on that?
How many years left on irrigation? Just 3 or 4?
I think 2023,
Yeah.
it's over.
What was that question?
There's
Well,
what was left
4
on
years
irrigation?
left on the irrigation loan.
Oh, the irrigation, that's what I'm bringing that in. 2023.
The other thing that's, you know, a cash drain for the club is that lease on the mower. So if it's time to get a new mower, you can get some pretty attractive payment terms. You're paying $11,000 a year for the mower. I don't think it, does that run out? I don't know.
Next year.
Sure, next year, yeah.
Things you don't think about too, as far as like utility payments, that sort of thing, I would imagine will go down in a new facility as well.
I didn't use any of that. I didn't use any income from the simulators in there. That would be gravy, hopefully. And
Are the simulators in the 500?
Yes.
they are.
So I'll speak on that just a little bit. So I've kind of put together just what I think would be a typical or a potential off-season revenue stream based solely on league play. I think you could get 10 league teams to play 2 8-week seasons, one in October ending before Christmas, one starting just after the new year and ending in the end of March. 10 4-man teams twice, you know, you'd have 40 guys through your clubhouse every weekday night. A very cheap golf simulator league of $400 per team 2 times could net you maybe $8,000 per off season solely for that league play. That does, you know, that's going to bring in revenue for the leasee and beer and food sales. Then that doesn't include any type of rent. I mean, you would have a tee sheet for that thing on Saturdays and Sundays, I would assume, all winter long, where they're paying between $40 and $80 per hour to use those things. I think potentially a $12,000 revenue stream per off season is pretty reasonable. And I guess it's how much you want to go after it. I mean, we have guys that come over here and play, seniors on Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, that I'm sure you could talk to come over once a month and play on your thing on a Monday morning or all day Monday. They could sit in there and play golf and keep those things going. So I just looked at that, you know, potentially operating that, running that, managing it, whatever for the club or whoever. And so I don't know how that doesn't make some money. The simulators are about just under $18,000 a piece, which is far less. When we first put this together, I think we budgeted $75,000 for one. There's lots of other companies in the market for these things now. These aren't high-end simulators. They are radar-based. That's how they track your swing and ball flight, but I think still pretty good. We don't have a high-end golf course either, so I think this is something that you can use as a teaching and training aid. You can use as entertainment. The simulators have their large TV screens as well for popular events. This package that I'm looking at has 16 golf courses on it. It also has a package where you can throw darts by chipping your golf ball. There's things for kids on there. There's, you know, like carnival games that you can all play by throwing balls or hitting balls at these things. So potential there. It's not just something for, you know, guys to play on Wednesday night all winter long. So that's just a little bit about what I think those things can do. We know that traffic dies off here in the winter and very few people come out. We're looking at something that makes this attractive 12 months out of the year, not just 6. So that's kind of why the simulators were thrown in there. There's been some talk of donations from the booster club, so the high school team could use that as they prep for their seasons each year. Golf lessons, all that kind of stuff. So additional chances at revenue there. So any other financial or budget questions before we move on to the next item? All right, so the next thing I had to discuss was kind of where the fund stands and the donations. Lots of questions and comments, concerns about that. So I'll go through it. This is very quick math. Marcia, you can scream at me and tell me I'm wrong, but based on our conversations, whatever day that was, Tuesday, I think, at that point in time, we had roughly $103,000 cash in hand or something like that. We picked up $8,500 in the last, 4 hours, taking us to roughly 112 or 111, 112. We have $21,000 in pledges out right now. 10,000 of that is Latta Harris has pledged to donate that money as soon as we break ground. Some members have pledged a couple $5,000 donations and another $1,000 donations. But that's available. We have I don't have them tonight, but there are sheets available. You can print those off the website if you'd rather do pledge. We just want to know these figures to help Brad get that closer to a concrete number before we get towards a vote. Then the city has 3 options for us. There's some grant money out there, or TRIP fund they call it, which should get us $15,000. $7,500 will be given towards exterior amenities. $7,500 will be given for interior amenities. So once we finish the exterior, we give them the billing for what we paid for that, and they return $7,500 for us. Same on the inside. So you add all those things together, we're 132, another 15. We're getting close today to 150,000, which we were at the end of last year. So there's also a revolving loan fund at the city, which you can apply, we can apply for an amenity for the club, whatever it may be. Do we need a new hood that goes into the kitchen? Do we want to pay for the simulators? 0.5% interest for 7 years. The city holds that note. Pretty good option there for us to add something for a little to no interest. So that's available. And then as Brad spoke, the tax abatement, 10 years on the increase in property value from where we currently stand today. So we don't have that tax hike that he mentioned with our brand new facility. As we mentioned, we kind of discussed this in the June meeting, but we thought deadline for founding memberships was August 15th. Again, so we can have a hard number before we go forward. Those founding memberships, your name will be on the wall. Some people want that, others don't. I received a foundation, and the gentleman said, I just want my name on something. So very good. We'll do that on the website. On the pledge sheet, it showed the tree, the giving tree with the different levels. That may be more difficult than we thought to get that installed. However, we'll do something nice to thank and commemorate all these donations. And along with that, like I said, when I first started this whole thing, I said, we're going to have a great dinner. I didn't get approval for anybody for that. That's why Jen and I will take care of that night. That guest list went from about 24 people just a few months ago to getting close to 100. So whatever the case may be, I'll gladly foot the bill if we can get this thing done. This is kind of like a career goal for me. So we'll take care of that. I will also say that if this is voted down, whenever we do this in August or early September, then I'm going to step away from this dream and mission. I've spent 5 years working on this. If it's voted down, I understand, point taken, and we will refund the money that's been given. So that, again, that was only used for a new facility. If this doesn't go, we'll look at something else. Someone else can look at something else. Any questions on that fund, donations or things like that? Kind of wrap these things up. So if no questions, timeline for events here as we see it. We have 2 more meetings, the 27th and the 30th next week. From that point, we will get this thing down to brass tacks and figure out exactly what this is going to cost. Maybe have one more meeting where Brad will have exactly what we think it's going to cost. I'll still do all these little fundraisers and stuff, and we can put this towards it as we go, but that'll end the founding membership donations, and that number will then go to the vote. If this were to pass, we're probably hopefully looking at an October demolition of this facility. If anybody has storage space for everything in here that we're gonna move to the next one, let me know. I don't know what we're gonna do with all this stuff if this goes, but so October tear down, hopefully. Twofold, we don't want to pay the utility bill. The club doesn't want to pay the utility bill on this thing another season. So we take it down, we don't have to do that. And then new construction, according to custom builders, would start maybe November. They thought 2 to 3 weeks the shell would be up. We'd have from that point through March to finish the interior. I want to speak out of turn, but it's not complicated. It's open. It shouldn't take a whole long time. And then maybe grand opening next April. So that's kind of the way we see it happen. Yes, Bob.
I might have missed the answer, but we have an approximate cost to tear this facility down. And what do we have as far as asbestos and that?
So we have. I mean, I think we just maybe used $10,000. I don't know if that's good, bad, or different. We did have an asbestos study here, and I'll have to find that contact and get back to. I wanted to say it was like the removal was $2,500 on that portion of it.
And it was gonna cost us 2 years ago when we looked into demo, and it was gonna be 10 grand to demo it and haul the materials away. But then fire department basically said they would do it as a training exercise, and it cost us something, but don't believe it would be $10,000.
So they can do anything as training, they still have to remove asbestos.
Right.
Correct.
That was,
So that's
we got a bid
the
for
highest
that.
cost, isn't it?
We got a bid for that a couple years ago, and it was $2,500, $3 grand, something like that.
The fire department said $1,000 donation to their fund, and they would use it as training, provided, like you say, we got the all clear from.
$1,000 or a cake beer?
Yeah, maybe, maybe. Good question. Any other questions, or we will send you on your merry way, I guess.
And I suppose if with the simulator, if we took videos and posted on YouTube or something, we could maybe sell that, like if we picture rat.
Absolutely.
That also, I think we could.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If a bunch of us got in there, we could make cartoons.
Yeah, very true.
How not to swing.
I will say, so what? Hopefully those things go in day one, but the simulators that I have penciled into this are portable. They come in a box. They set up. You can take them down. You can move them. Whatever. You know, it's not a permanent fixed structure. So that's, I guess, a nice thing too. No, I hope not. There. Sure. Any other questions? Board members or committee members, did I miss anything? Yes, Rod.
Since there's some membership here tonight, I want people to know, as of right now, Chris has been running this place without getting any extra pay, just his greenskeep. That's how much he's dedicated to this project. We're hoping as a board that we have a pretty good year yet, so we can compensate him. But I didn't know if a lot of the members knew that. He's putting a lot of hours in here, and really all his pay right now is just his greenskeeping salary. So keep that in mind. Hopefully, like I said, as a board, we're hoping that we have enough money to compensate him for that. So
Rod's in.
All right. And any other questions?
It's like this roof, they can take it out.
Well, yeah, that's one thing
Down there.
that's one thing I was assuming. I mean, somebody would, I mean, we could use it, repurpose it for sure, or somebody would want it, I would assume.
Well,
Like,
that would be like hell.
yeah,
I know this.
yeah, it's a sieve. But yeah, I don't think that's a difficult thing to do.
No, the screws.
Zip off the screws and that's the way it goes. So, which I would have to be taken off if you're going to burn it, right? I mean,
Right.
so.
So you're planning on saving kitchen equipment?
Yeah, good question. I think these tables can be garage saled. The chairs that we have, I think, are all great. They can be used. Kitchen equipment, for the most part, has been repaired or upgraded, replaced. A lot of that can go. I don't know. I mean, the leasing may not want that, but you could start, as we're doing right now, with what we have, I think. The design with those high top tables, I mean, whatever, that could be different, but you could outfit it, I think, with what we have. Like I said, total seating in there, I think, with the bar and just the table shown in that picture right there is what, 50, 60 people. Again, some people said, well, that should be bigger. Others have said, we don't need all that.
How many seating in the patio?
Patio, I think, would have another 32, 36 seats out there easily. So another good point, as this is designed, and if you look at the exterior pictures, the patio, and I mentioned this earlier, but I just want to, maybe we needed an update. The people at Custom Builders really don't want to see me come back in for another update, but I'll wait till this goes. So it was just a semicircle patio, 26 or 36 by 24. As we laid it out, Myron and I and Craig Jackson, we just thought a full-length patio with that roof might be better. Spread the tables out. We thought we could get 4 tables on each side, so 32 seats additionally outdoors. And again, there's room for tables here, banquets or whatever. Again, that's ribbon cutting ceremony. We're going to have people sitting in the pro shop, I think, the way the donations are going. So
Yeah, the other thing we thought about as far as a revenue stream would be, if wedding rehearsal dinners, that sort of thing. Maybe we maybe the club's not open on a Friday night and we take $500 or $1,000 for that sort of thing as well. So I think that's something also to keep in mind.
Yeah, that was one thing. So I think coat closet can be installed in a couple places. Sorry, I'll have to go. This just doesn't work out very well. So coat closet could be added to the pro shop. There's only one window in the pro shop there on that wall where we could go there. Wait till it gets back again.
So our members can get into the pro shop to hang up their coats? Is that
I think we could do it here. There's another space. I think here's the donation, plaque, tree, whatever. But on the pro shop wall right here, you could frame in a coat closet right there.
Open one,
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, just a rack, and because that pro shop sits back, I think 6 feet from the other 2. So this is back a little bit. It shows there. But.
Chris, have you had any conversation with Terry Kirk, the city of Tipton?
I have not, no. Along that line, fire protection system was a huge concern of mine. Someone that knows more than I do said, with the square footage, we may not need that, which would be a huge savings. I don't know the answer to that. That was just what I was told.
He should know.
Yeah, probably something we should get with him very quickly.
The other thing is with him is the city may be requiring hard surface parking for somebody.
That
percentage of it too.
That was a stipulation prior when we had some talk about, and we'll probably have to do some parking, handicap in the front.
My guess on it's probably going to be 30 spots. That's about all it's going to be.
Yeah. I'll write that down.
But you may want to talk to him on that.
Okay.
So going in.
Well, that's what he was just saying. There may be some stipulations with the city that I think we would have to pave handicap or have hard surface for the handicap portion. Our intention was to, the last building we had $270,000 worth of concrete parking, which that kind of ended the thing right there. Same prices are. So,
but it's based on occupancy.
Sure. Yeah.
You've come down a long way.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
250.
Absolutely. Yeah. 50. So.
What is our current membership?
I don't know that for sure. I'm just going to take a guess. I think we bottomed out at about 135 this spring. We've added several. I think we're probably 150-ish, maybe, somewhere in that range. Down from, we were at 215 2 years ago.
Most all of them are families.
I think it's about a 50-50 split.
50-50.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can get that number for you, but
Family dues last year were $70,000 and single memberships were 35. Other memberships were about $7,000.
I don't think I brought that sheet. I don't think I have that sheet. I apologize, Myron. Marcia, do you have that balance sheet from last
I think
meeting?
we're gonna pick up
I do.
a few members from Badlands.
We had several stop and were interested, and then our rates were higher than they wanted to pay. Then we did reduce, but I think at that point those people found other places to play before we got them back.
Our green fees have been significant though this year.
Oh, yeah.
It's been busy over here.
Yeah. I think we said at the meeting, what was it, $7,800 screen fees? And that was without any green fees taken in March and April. That's only May and June and a half of July, so. Sorry, these are June only.
Yeah, that's June only.
I apologize. I think I talked in the I think May meeting with the board. Like I kind of years ago set a goal of 200 members. I just thought that was the goal. That was the number that made us healthiest, and I think that proved to be true. We had it up to about 215, and then we've lost about 80 in the last year and a half. So somehow we got to get that back. Hopefully, maybe something like this.
I mean, a lot of the discussion around even having this sort of, there's no place to get a burger and beer in Tipton. If we could, if this could be a place where even non-members want to come and get a burger and a beer, that'd be great.
And don't get too hung up on these interior pictures. I know it's not going to probably look like that. That was just stock photos that they put together for the purpose of giving us some type of idea what it looked like. All right. Well, thank everyone for coming. If you didn't get enough, we'll be here again Monday night.
Same show?
Yeah.